Hello, fellow Amiga users. I'm Bill.
And I'm Anthony.
And we are the Guru Meditation. Come with us today when we check out some new accessories and expansions for the Amiga 1200 from our friends at RetroReady.one.
The Guru Meditation.
So Anthony, I just received a shipment from my friend Sir Lucas, who is the owner of a new Amiga store called RetroReady.one. Sir Lucas is also one of the founders of AmiParty, and that's where I originally met him.
Yeah, we all know about AmiParty, and we have to know this Amiga Christmas did not come from Santa Claus, apparently.
No, it came from Santa Lucas. Sir Lucas saw our Samia Halaby video, and he also saw that Roberto Rogal, another amazing Amiga user, sent her a brand new Amiga 1200.
Yeah,
and
so thank you.
Yeah, so thank you, Roberto. That's incredible. Sir Lucas said, you know what, Samia got a brand new stock 1200. She needs some expansions for it.
Stock, no good, right?
No, she needs some upgrades. First of all, we've got a PCMCIA L-bracket from rastport.com. We've got an 8 megabyte memory expansion for the Amiga 1200 from Archi-TECH 1200. And this is a really, really cool piece of gear. It's an Amiga compact flash to IDE adapter, but it's a really elegant solution for those folks that pull the hard drive out of their 1200 and add a compact flash card used as a hard drive.
Right, and of course you want to get those hard drives out because they are old, even if you haven't been using them, and sometimes especially if you haven't been using them, they may have failed already on you.
And I did that by using one of these devices, which is an IDE to compact flash card adapter. This thing works great. You know, it's got a ribbon cable that connects to the IDE port, and it's got this compact flash card adapter. But Sir Lucas sells this really, really neat compact flash to IDE adapter that eliminates the ribbon cable. It just goes, boom, right onto your motherboard, and it's a really, really elegant solution for attaching a compact flash card to the IDE port. Now, let's open this up and show folks how it works. But this 1200 is a special one. This 1200 comes from my friend Scott from the retrobench.com. This 1200 was recapped by him. Scott is an amazing dude. He does all the recapping and repairs at the SWAG meetings, Southwest Amiga User Group.
Hopefully we'll get there someday.
Yeah, hopefully we'll make the trip across the pond and visit Scott in the group. I said, like, Scott, you know what? Give me a 1200 that's got the worst condition case and keyboard as possible, because I'm going to replace the case and the keyboard with the CD32 colored case that I got from A1200.net.
We've already removed the screws. There's 3 screws across the front. You have 2 here underneath, and you have 2 right where the floppy drive is. What you got to be careful of once you get the screws out is, and you should lift it from the front because you have clips on the back that you don't want to just yank it up and pull them out. The other thing you don't want to do is just pull the keyboard out. You have the zero insertion force connector here, but that doesn't mean just pull the cable out. You want to pull up this white retainer that forces the cable up against the contacts, and that way you've released it, you release the tension, and it won't be as damaged as you slide it out. And then you can just pull the keyboard out and put it back there.
Look at those new caps from Scott.
Okay.
Those are gorgeous caps. I'm super psyched to have a PAL 1200 because my other 1200 is an NTSC 1200. So now I don't have to do the old 2 mouse button boot to PAL mode anymore. I can just boot right into it, and I feel confident because I've got brand new caps. No leakage happening on any of my streams.
Right.
So Anthony, let's just plug in the adapter, and you can see how elegantly it fits onto the motherboard.
Right. So this just goes straight down onto the IDE header on the motherboard. And it rests on top of the PCMCIA port, which is plastic, so you don't have to worry about it making contact with any metal. Unlike the old solution, which has male pins across the back just like a hard drive, so you need that ribbon cable. You plug that ribbon cable in here and it flops around. If you have the metal shielding over here, there's metal that it can come into contact with, can short out the pins on the bottom. I think it's even worse if you don't have that and you have actually your chips, everything exposed, and this thing is just hanging around. It's just really neat that it just sits there tight. Take your compact flash card, you put your compact flash card in, and you're done.
Here we have a really cool PCMCIA L-bracket. This comes from Rasport.com. Now Rasport.com is our friend Crashin, who I met at the original Ami party, and I followed his development over the years. He's doing some really cool stuff. And this is a really elegant solution for the PCMCIA port for the 1200. Now traditionally, I would take a card like this. This is a PCMCIA to compact flash adapter, and this allows me to plug a compact flash card into the PCMCIA port, and it works great. I love this card, got it from Amiga Kit, it served me well for years.
Yeah, great for transferring stuff from your PC to the Amiga and back.
Exactly, but you know, when you plug it into the side of the 1200, it sticks out a little bit and it hovers above the table.
Yeah, it's like about 2+ inches, and yeah, I mean, if you bring your hand down or if you don't have that room on the left side, this could be a problem.
Let's plug this sucker into the PCMCIA port and see what it does.
Well, I noticed the first thing is that it sticks down a little bit, and that seems to be about the height of the port on the 1200, so you actually have support against the desk here.
That's really nice.
The other interesting thing they did, it seems, is that it doesn't plug in as you think it would with the label of your PCMCIA card this way. They turned it over so it actually shows the label that way. Your label is out this way, you can see what the card is, and the card, I think it barely sticks out the back of the machine. That's pretty slick. You know, I was wondering how this could be useful, and you know, the slope of it, everything it's really nice right to the shape of your 1200.
And it also comes in 2 colors. I've got the white one here. It also comes in black.
Pretty nice. I'm liking this. I think we're getting close to placing an order. I know everyone's eyes have to be on the card in the middle. What do we have there?
This thing is sweet. It is the A1208 8MB memory expansion for the Amiga 1200. It was designed by Luxor, manufactured by Archi-TECH 1200, a gentleman who's no stranger to our videos. I met him at Ami Party. He's the one who was working on that FPGA Amiga 500, which I can't wait for that to come out. It's 8MB of fast RAM expansion for the 1200, and it was a gift from Sir Lucas to Samia Halaby for her new Amiga 1200. So thank you for your generosity, Sir Lucas.
Thank you very much. And everyone knows the Amiga 1200 comes with 2 megs of chip RAM built onto the motherboard. What this gives you is additional fast mem. And what fast mem gives you is a speed boost. And it's not as big a speed boost as you would get if it had a different processor on it, like an 030 and 060. But just having that fast RAM allows the Amiga to put programs there instead of the chip mem, and it allows them to run them faster. So you get an immediate slight speed boost just using this.
Yeah, and you get it for a better price too, because you're not actually getting the processor. You're just getting the RAM, and this card sells for £89.99. I use WHD load all the time. That's like the main thing I use my 1200 for. But it requires a little bit more than that 2MB of chip RAM. Most of the games do. So this kind of puts you in the sweet spot for WHD load.
But the one issue, and what he designed into it to get around, is the fact that the 1200 actually has a conflict. If you go above 4 megs of RAM, and the card can't move that RAM out of the range that the PCMCIA port uses, you could have a conflict, and with Kickstart 3.0, the machine could lock up if it tries to access the wrong type of thing. With 3.1, what it would do is if it sees 8 megs of RAM in there and it can't move it, it's going to shut that port off. That's no good. You want to transfer files. You may want to use your Ethernet. Well, so what he did was he has both a jumper on the board that allows you to hard set it. So if you know you always have a card here, you can jumper it, have that 4 megs turned off, and not have a problem. He also has where it can be configured through software. You don't have to open the machine up to change it, and you can turn that RAM on or off depending on whether you have the card plugged in or not.
Right, so if you have no need for the PCMCIA port, you can get the full 8MB, but if you want to use the PCMCIA port, you can disable some of the RAM, and you can have both your brand new PCMCIA L-bracket working and the 8MB RAM expansion. All right, Anthony, there you have it. Some really neat new goodies from our friend Sir Lucas at RetroReady.one for the Amiga 1200. I know Sammy is going to love her 8MB RAM expansion.
Right, and you're going to protect that. You're going to frisk me before I leave, make sure I'm not walking out with it. Not that I would ever do that.
I'm also going to make sure you're not walking out with my compact flash to IDE adapter. Can't wait to put this sucker into my newly recapped Amiga 1200 from Scott at retrobench.com. The future of my 1200 is looking bright.
Right, so let's get this put back together, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Guru Meditation. Excuse me, makeup!
RAM expansion for the Amiga 1200. We'll try that again.
Sorry, Samia. We broke it. We're loose with the juice. Loose. I'm perfect every time. I'm like this. I'm like boom, boom, boom,
Freaking De Niro
boom.
over there.
I'm working. See, this is why he weighs less than me.
I made a
You
far
gotta
walk.
run to the camera.
I need some more rum.
Rum goes right down.
Cheers to Amiga. Oh,
Ooh, dude. Hope my wife's not watching this.